Zoom. Iniziamo con Andrea, padrone di casa. Andrea, ti abbiamo visto sempre davanti al Tour de Romandie, una buona preparazione per il Giro d'Italia?
Ma sì, dai, buongiorno a tutti. Ho iniziato a Romandì bene, con i principi piazzamenti, quindi l'importante era arrivare con una preparazione ottimale. Ci siamo arrivati e adesso siamo qui a un Giro d'Italia impegnativo, con una squadra molto performante anche per la classifica generale con Ben. E, boh, ci proviamo, ecco, a ottenere successo su qualche tappa e poi guardiamo sempre il lato della classifica generale, appunto. Dicevo.
We have a question for Larry by Tom van der Salm. The World Decathlon AG2R team seems to be riding on a high this year. In which way did the approach change over the first months of the year? And how is it to be part of this group of riders?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest changes was, we had this change in sponsor with Decathlon coming in, and that renewed the motivation for the team a bit. And, we have these new bikes, which are great, but I think it's also just the bikes are a symbol for the change, I think, in the team. And that sort of started us with this fresh motivation. And I think it's just been a good cycle. It's been a positive cycle. Guys started to ride well, and it just sort of, it created this new, I guess, momentum in the team. And once the guys started winning, they haven't stopped. So that's been cool. But yeah, I think we've sort of changed the way we've been riding now. Is we take the race on a lot more. We race from the front. And I think we're really utilizing everyone in the team a lot better than we have in the past. We're riding the front, we're controlling the race, and and it's cool because the leaders have been delivering. So yeah, it's been really nice to be a part of, and I hope we continue with the good dynamic here at the Giro, and I'm pretty sure we will.
Jacques Klopp from Agence France Press to O'Connor. And how important is the team dynamic to explain your great success since the start of the season?
I mean, I think everyone has to be along the same page for both your objectives and your goals and also your personal ambition. But you also have to have that kind of like friendship kind of value on the side of it, where you trust each other and also you work for your mates and you work for your friend, and you create a group that's willing to, take sacrifices, because in the end, that's kind of what a lot of cycling comes down to. It's a funny team sport, as we all know, and boys, work for a common goal where one guy then perhaps crosses the line with his hands up in the air and he looks like the champ, but it's a big story behind that. So trying to create a integrated group where we believe all in each other and you all trust each other is probably the most important thing. So I guess it goes about from the start of the year, spending all the races together, the training camps as well, but performing is the next step. And if as a team we perform well, it's obviously going to bring a good team atmosphere nonetheless.
A question for Aurélien Parepantre by Nick van der Woo. Do you also have your own ambitions for top 10 for the GC and some stages, or is your role all focused on Ben and you will not look for your own general classification?
Yes, there is many goals for this Giro for this year. For sure, I want to win some stage. There is some maybe good breakaway again, like last year. So it's the first goal of my goal. Also for the team, hope to see Ben on the podium in 3 weeks now. It's very important for us to be focused around him. And I think for the first part of the Giro, I can also be focused on the GC, because I prefer to be focused on GC to race every. It feel more easier to race if I'm focused on GC, and we will see in the last week for sure if I have to sacrifice all my save for to see Ben on the podium for sure. On the last week, it will be. I will do that. So main goal is to win some stage and to have in Rome GC podium.
Nick Van der Wu, una domanda per Andrea. Tu cercherai il successo nelle volate di gruppo o proverai a vincere attraverso le fughe?
Sinceramente proverò attraverso le fughe, a lunga gittata sicuramente, anche perché i roster dei velocisti puri è veramente alto, quindi preferisco puntare su tappe più movimentate dove ci sia più possibilità per una fuga.
We have two similar questions for Ben, so I will join them. Afonso Lopez and Jacques Klopp, they ask you your goal for this year. Is a podium. They remind you that the Giro is the only Grand Tour where you didn't finish in the top 10. So is your goal a podium, a top 5?
Yeah, I mean, everything's already said it. It'd be the dream to finish on the podium. I think I've shown already so far this year I've been consistent. And I think I've also shown I've been consistently good on every hard stage. Grand Tours come down to a lot more technicalities, but yeah, the dream would be the podium, so that's what we're going to try and achieve.
Another question for Ben by the Australian Associated Press. Could you talk about your hopes for the Giro? And then maybe an inspiration could be the triumph of Jai Hindley a couple of years ago. Can you talk a little bit about your friendship with Jai and also any reflection about the Aussie hopes at the Giro?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. The aim is just to be on the podium at the end of the race in Rome. It's my kind of like personal ambition as a cyclist to be up there in a Grand Tour on the podium one day. So you have to aim for the stars, and that's kind of what we're going to try and do. As for Jai, we're completely different people. It's unrelatable. Yeah, we're from the same city, but what he did a couple of years ago was history making for Australian cycling, and he definitely led a pretty sweet pathway. And I think Australian cycling is just kind of being on a boom from there. There's quite a few Aussie sprinters here as well. We've got Caden and Caleb as well, so going to be a pretty hot crew of boys running around and hopefully getting wins throughout this Giro.
Question from Pierre Menjot of L'Equipe, again for Ben. It looks very open, the field behind Tadej Pogacar. Who do you imagine can be your main rival for the podium?
I mean, you can name all the other boys, and the same goes for Poggy as well. It's clear. You can say G and Roman, but in the end, it's a race, and you always have surprises. And the consistent guys are there, and there's also surprises in terms of performances that are pretty, spectacular. So I don't really care, to be honest. Just going to go about our own race, be my best every single day. As a team, we want to be our best also every single day. Tick every box and then get to Rome, hopefully as happy people, as a happy group, having given our all.
Question for Aurélien and Valentin. This will be your second Grand Tour together. Does being together as brothers make it easier to survive the 3 weeks? Valentin first, because he didn't speak yet.
No. No, for sure when we are in the bike, it's not a simple teammate, but if we want to survive for these 3 weeks, I don't need just to have my brother, I need to have all the team, because we know that the Giro someday are very, very difficult and long day, maybe with the weather. So yeah, for sure a little advantage, but we have to be 8 at the start and 8 at the finish to be the best every day, and to support all the danger of the Giro. Yeah. So yeah. Good answer.
Et Aurélien?
Ah,
Valentin, pardon.
Rien, t'as pas l'autre. I'm agree with him. What to say? What I say? Tu parles en français?
Ouais, tu parles en français,
Ouais,
vas-y.
je sais pas quoi dire. Français.
Ah, ok, ok.
Ouais. Il faut. Ouais. Vite et.
Tino?
Non. Non.
Carlo Malvestio from Tutto Bici Web is asking Ben, how do you approach a race where there is potentially a great dominator like today? Can it be demotivating?
No, because you go into every race with big favorites and guys who are world class. So yeah, if you weren't, if I was demoralized from the start, you wouldn't be a very good professional athlete, would you? You have to aspire to be your best, and you dream to win. And I've also won in the past, so yeah, for sure, Poggies is one of the greats and will be in the future. But you know, I also have my own storyline, and I also hope to ride it myself throughout this race in my future and my career.
Okay, so we say thank you to the team and good luck for the Giro. We will translate now the press conference.